YouTube? This is BH Varanus. I'm right here, down here with my enclosures. I have six altogether. I'm building two more, so there'll be an 8 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot right there, and another one on top of right where the camera's sitting. So right now, what I'm gonna go over is free roaming and why I don't agree with it. So basically, I'm gonna go over humidity first and how it works, in your home. This isn't a theory. It's gonna range differently depending on your locality. If you're in Florida, if you're in California, if you're in South Texas, if you're in the Northeast United States, it's gonna vary, whatever. But on average keeper, average hobbyist is not gonna have the ranges necessary to allow animal to free roam. The first thing I want to hit on is humidity, because that's one of the major issues, and then ambient temperature being another major issue things that can't be met when you're free roaming an animal. And when I mean free roaming, I mean people that are doing it 50% of the time to 100% of the time. I'm not talking about people that take their animal out for 30 minute to 20 minute intervals, maybe 3 times a week or less. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that literally have their animal roam around their apartment or house. Your animal should always be in some sort of little environmental box, which is an enclosure, in order for it to thrive the way it needs to thrive. Just because you have an adult monitor, please don't assume that your monitor is healthy. Most monitors in captivity die around 10 to 15 years of age, which is extremely early for a monitor. They can live up to 30 to 40 years. So a monitor dying at 15 is like a human being dying at 21. Wouldn't that be a tragedy? Then I kind of have to, for that one particular thing, anthropomorphize just a little bit, as far as the longevity of your animal. So behind me is my larger female. I'm about to feed her, not on camera, but if I do feeding videos, they're all dead. All animals are euthanized. I don't do live feeding videos anymore. Just what it is. Now, humidity. Humans need a humidity range of about from 50 to 60. It changes between 30 to 50, whoever the governing bodies with that, I'm not into all the socio-political, BS that goes with who decides that. You can look that up on your own. So being that we require a range of from maybe 50 to 70, 50 to 60, right? Or ideal 40 to 60, whatever it have you be. Either way, it's lower than what your monarch lizard requires, or your reptile in general, your iguana, whatever it is. So the thing is that when you put your home at 80% humidity because you read somewhere that that's what your animal requires, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem what you're not factoring in is the different ranges in a room and in a home, okay? Because humidity rises, falls, what have you. And I doubt the people that are letting their animal free roam are actually using hydrometers and thermometers, digital, of course, at every level in certain rooms of their house to make sure that that monitor is getting 80% at the bottom level. Realistically, 80% humidity that's felt by us is felt on our level, which is a higher range in the room, especially if it's free roaming, okay? It's not getting 80% humidity at the bottom level of the room at that range. So what you're doing is you're basically exposing your animal to improper humidity ranges, which are below what it requires in order for its respiratory, and for its gastrointestinal tracts to properly, operate. Reptiles, they dry out very quickly, they dehydrate very fast. Dehydration is a symptom, okay? It's not the actual ailment. So what happens is when you don't supply the proper humidity and you don't keep it in its enclosure, what ends up happening to the animal is that it gets these long-term symptoms, these long-term illnesses with these symptoms. And so by the time you realize that the animal dehydrated, it's already too late. It might be already going through renal failure or some other little nasty things. That's just what it is. So the animal ends up suffering because you think 80% is okay. Now, realistically, let's say you up your humidity in your home to 100%. Now that bottom range is probably correct for that animal. But a human being literally cannot survive in 100% humidity consistently. Now you got people that live in Florida, whatever, yada yada yada. They have air conditions, most of them, and they're not outside 24/7. So if you're doing a free range, 100% free roaming animal, and your humidity in your house is always 100%, your health itself is going to start to decline, because what happens is that you are not allowing your body to regulate properly, because you're not letting any heat escape. Because heat escapes from us, from our mouths, and from our pores in the form of sweat. Okay, that sweat needs to evaporate. When that sweat doesn't evaporate, it causes complications. You can go ahead and Google the complications of high humidity in humans. Do that on your own time. But what happens is that now you have this whole unrealistic situation where you've got this monitor lizard, you've made it feel like to you it's as tame as a dog or what have you. That lethargic behavior, that calm behavior, has to do with obesity and being overfed, and the fact that the animal is probably on its deathbed. It might take 10 years, but guess what? It's gonna meet its non-timely demise. I think another thing that people need to realize is that on the back end of that, these animals require high humidity for a reason, for the proper organ function, and that's why we make enclosures. I have a heater running right now. I have a humidifier running right now because her cage door is open. When you open your enclosure, if you're not smacked in the face with like at least 90%, 80% humidity, like you should feel the humidity and the heat in that enclosure, your temperatures aren't correct. Okay, so before you start growing grass or doing whatever it is, doing whatever have you, you need to really check your husbandry first. So a lot of people aren't gonna like this video, and it's not really my place to really worry about what people don't like, because my videos are made for general knowledge. If you apply it, that's on you. If you didn't know before you watch this video, don't take it to heart. Just try to slowly make the necessary adjustment, because everybody's finances is different, everyone's living situation is different, But what I will tell you is free roaming is incorrect. It is not healthy for the animal. Now, if you live in Florida and you got that damn thing running around, okay, whatever, but you can't do it long term, even for yourself. So from a human standpoint, you got to look at it like this. Humans need this much humidity. Reptile needs this much humidity. Humans need their own little ecosystem, and reptiles need their own ecosystem, which means this is your house, this is their enclosure. When you put the two together, someone has to suffer. Either it's going to be the human's health or the animal's health. So you're going to have to make the decision on what you want to pick. So that's just what it is. Like I said, there's 3 different types of humidities. It's absolute, relative, and specific. So when you go to Google everything, make sure that you Google relative humidity. Okay, because that's why the weather channels tell you how humid it's going to be. That's one of the factors for health reasons. It's that important for everything that's on this planet. So like I said, that's all I got. This was a long video. You know what I mean? I got some other things playing along the video. Holla at your boy. I hope this helped you guys out. Free roaming is a big no-no. For you guys that do it, please make the necessary adjustments and build an enclosure, because if you have the luxury of letting your animal run around a nice sized home, you also have the luxury of building the correct enclosure. This is not a scolding, but it's more so, I'm going ahead and I'm raising the red flag for everybody that, someone's told you. So now you know, and the information is now available. Any additional questions, go ahead, put them in the comments below. Also, I'm at 1,150 subscribers. I'd like to thank all of my subscribers that rode with me this far. I'll be doing some giveaways in the future of some serious stuff, not no BS stuff. So anyone that is eligible for the giveaways must have the proper enclosure already pre-set up. That's just what it is. I'll let your boy.